Hi, this is Janelle from the Customer Success team at Funnel, and today I wanted to show you how to create your first custom dimension. So starting off in the Data Explorer, I have traffic source, campaign, and CPC, and I would like to know what region my campaigns are based in. So I don't have a field currently that takes into account the region, but I can see in my campaign that the beginning part of it shows me where that specific campaign is located. So EMEA, APAC, or NA for North America. So with this, I can navigate over to the Organize section and click on Dimensions. And I would just go ahead and click Create Custom Dimension, and I would start from scratch. And I can go ahead and name this region. And you can set a description for this custom dimension if you would like, if you have multiple people working in the same workspace, or you just want to keep tidy and have everything set in stone with what the point of the specific custom dimension is, then feel free to set a short description on what that specific dimension entails and what it does. And then you can also choose a unit, so you can choose a string, date, or date time. I'm going to keep it as a string for this example. And then over here, you can create platform-specific rules. So if you create a rule down here, then it would just apply for, in this example, Google Analytics, LinkedIn Organic, Microsoft Advertising, so on and so forth. But in our case, we want to scroll a little bit further down and create a new rule that applies to all the data sources across all of our platforms. So we would just click on Rule with Condition and click that when campaign, we can do contains ignore case, but as you can see, you have plenty of options on how to create these specific rules and how you want them to behave. But we're going to do contains ignore case, and then we'll do EMEA, then set to Europe, and then we can add another one for APAC, Asia Pacific, and then we can add one more for NA, and we'll set that to North America. Perfect. And then we'll create the rule. And then we can jump back into the Data Explorer, and I can pull in that custom field that I just created. I'll have to reload this. And then there you have it. You can add it over into your view. And just like that, as you can see, we created an entirely new field from existing knowledge that we already had of this field over here for campaign. So you can see that EMEA registered as Europe region-wise, APAC, Asia Pacific, and NA is North America. There's also another way that you could go about creating this region rule, and I can show you really quickly. So if we look up region, we click edit, and then if I remove this, you can also do it this way, where if the campaign, and then you can use the split by feature, and then because we know that the region is listed in the very beginning of the campaign name, followed by an underscore, then we can set it to the split result of the first fragment. Since we know the first fragment being separated by the underscore pulls out the region. So with that, we can save it. You can also put any description to whatever changes you made. Again, if you're working with multiple people in the same team, it does help to have a little bit of knowledge of what the previous changes were. But for this example, we can just move on here to the Data Explorer, and then we'll reload. And just like that, as you can see, it took the first fragment of the campaign name and used it over in the region field. So you can see EMEA match with EMEA, APAC with APAC, and NA with NA. So this is how you would go about creating your first custom dimension. There's many different dimensions that you can utilize. You can choose to do by country, by device, by media type. There's a ton of different custom dimensions that you can create. So have a play around. Hopefully it'll become a bit more intuitive as you kind of play around with the different, split by, contains, features such as those. But if you need any additional help, please feel free to reach out to our support team at support at funnel.io or through our in-app chat. Thank you so much.